On the 3-minute call, between 1 minute and 55 seconds and 2 minutes and 22 seconds, there's discussion about what Relly thinks Rocky was on Rocky's rap sheet, and then he assumes that Rocky has a rap sheet. And also that Rocky buys people off. I don't want the jury hearing anyway.
I did take that out.
Good.
Do you know, you say the 3 minutes, do you know what the numbers were?
1 minute and 55 seconds to 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Then that's all my concern on that one. Then there's the one, I think it's the longest one. It's 7094. It's between 5 minutes and 25 seconds and 6 minutes. Relly's talking about the potential sentence. I don't want the jury hearing that. And then beginning at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Beginning 8 minutes and 15 seconds. There's discussion about the white people will see what Rocky knows and doesn't know, what Rocky knows and doesn't know, and then there's also his feelings about Rocky. I especially don't want to hit the jury to hear about the white people. Race have no role in this whatsoever. The rest of that tape is pretty innocuous.
Hold on, Your Honor. He's checking to see.
I just want to verify, Your Honor, all that's out. We can't unring this now with what's happening.
Yeah, I want to know that that's
So
taken out.
I can say for sure the white people comment was taken out.
Good. What about the potential sentence?
Do you have an example?
5 minutes and 25 seconds to 6 minutes.
I think what he's asking, Your Honor, is because the times have changed, because he's had to edit what he's asking for, he knows.
Oh, it changed. It
It
changed.
was like 19 years or something like that.
I think he said something about a minimum of this and a maximum of 25 years.
Okay, yeah.
He also mentions that attempted murder, and it's not attempted murder.
You're saying looking at anywhere from 14 to like 20 something years?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a mention of attempted murder?
I might have let it in.
It's not attempted murder. If you can't find it,
I took out the 20 something.
So the years are out.
Do you want me to zip it then and show them?
That would be comforting.
Okay. That's really all I was concerned about.
Just on those two transcripts.
He talks about on the third transcript. He talks about his feelings about Jabari. He talks about his calls and his texts that were exchanged prior to the incident. I think it's pretty innocuous.
I'm definitely not trying to ring bells that can't be unrung. If they want to sit down, I can show them exactly what I redacted.
All right, go ahead.
Just gonna take a second.
And Your Honor, I don't think this was put on the record. I think I said it in court. But it has been discussed in the media, not by Mr. Tactina, but simply by commentators who have said that this defendant is convicted, he's looking at getting 24 years. That's absurd. The people have always said that we would not be seeking, and we would have no grounds for seeking the maximum sentence in this case. What we have said is we talked about a sentence originally. Or we're willing to give probation and suspend time. If he's convicted, what we're going to be asking for is probably going to be about 8 years in state prison. So he will not be looking at that. As the court's aware, he would serve about 2/3 of that. I just want to make sure that we don't have this misinformation being spread, because it's not accurate.
Now, can you tell the jury as usual, or
Yes, sir.
taking care of logistics?
Yes, sir.
logistical issues. All right, so we're going to take a witness out of court. Is he here?
Yes, it is.
Oh, APD, oh, okay.
Nice to meet you.
Just a couple.
No, let me just finish it. How's that?
It's white. Just one.
Are there more problems? Okay, yes?
Yes, one.
All right, why don't the two of you discuss it? If you can come to an agreement, then I don't need to get involved. Let me ask you, I hate to have the jurors wait outside. Can you give me an idea how much longer it might be before?
So I just highlighted all the changes that I made in this one. I can bring it up if the court wants to. Eleanor, did you take the one that I highlighted? Oh, I have it. You want to approach the meeting?
Why don't you come on up and show me what's been taken out and what is still objectionable?
Wes, do you have the highlighter? Or he has it?
Yeah, okay, up here is. Is it okay? Again, I don't apologize for being late. Is that all right?
I'm sorry? What was that?
I was going to say, is it okay if I don't apologize again? Tell you what, just assume I'm apologizing. Pretend I'm apologizing.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, hold on.
People agree with that?
Yes.
All right. All right. Defense, call your witness.
Okay. Your Honor, Mr. Hayes calls Wally Sajemi. Sajemi? Go ahead, yeah.
fine. Just raise your right hand for us. Thank you. Okay. You solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending for this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God. May you please take a seat on the witness stand. Make it you and you come right. Please state and spell your name for the record.
Wally Sajemi, W-A-L-L-Y-S-A-J-I-M-I.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Good afternoon, Mr. Clay.
Hello.
What do you, sir, what do you do for a living?
I run a technology software agency where we build website software for clients, musicians, creatives, brands, direct-to-consumer brands, yeah.
And have you done work in that capacity for Rocky?
Yes.
Okay. Have you also, and by the way, do you work for Rocky?
No, I have my own business.
Okay. So you do consulting work?
Yes, consulting.
Did an individual that you know as Relly also ask you to do work for him?
Yes.
Okay. And same capacity as a consultant as well?
Correct.
All right. Now, do you have any, just let's get this out of the way. Do you have any personal knowledge of the facts of this case one way or another?
No.
Okay. After Rocky's arrest in this case, and fair to say you're friends with Rocky, right?
Yes.
Okay. After Rocky's arrest in this case, did Relly ask you to do anything for him?
Yes, he did.
What did he ask you to do?
A number of things, but he really wanted to boost his social media presence with certain articles from this case.
Okay. In particular, do you remember any?
It was a long list, but they were high publications.
TMZ.
TMZ, Rolling Stone, High Society, Complex, so on and so on.
So, Mr. Efron, honestly, contacted you and asked you to promote these articles for his social media presence.
Yes, for his further, to boost his social media as well, yeah.
And that was articles about this case.
Correct.
Okay. When did, just refer to as Relly for the purpose of this conversation, when did Relly, that's how you know him, by the way, right?
Correct.
When did Relly last call you?
Just last week on my birthday when I was in Paris, Thursday.
Thursday, the January 30th?
Yeah, around 9 p.m. in Paris, so if I do the math, it's probably 12 noon here.
Okay. And have you been following this case?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Okay. And on that day, on that Thursday, did you see anything particular about this case on Thursday when you watched?
Yeah, just my name being brought up against lies, fabrication, just not the truth. So,
Well, what in particular did you hear, and who did you hear it from?
Relly specifically.
What did he say?
Recordings were fake. Recordings were not him, not I. And I'm a pretty private person, so when people lie on my name, it kind of gets me upset. So yeah.
Okay. Now, did Relly send you any articles about this case in the
Yes.
last 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. And on October 17th of 2024, did he send you an article about Judge Arnold?
Yes.
On December 24th, 2024, did he send you a Daily Mail article entitled "Rihanna Fears Heartbreaking Consequence of A$AP Rocky's Trial with a
Yeah, I
Smile
don't
Face"?
understand the relevance of these questions about specific.
Did we ask that? December 27, 2024, did Relly send you an article from the Daily Mail entitled "Rihanna Fears Heartbreaking Consequences of A$AP Rocky's Trial with a Smiley Face" next to it?
Yes.
To be here today, so where are you coming from?
Paris, France.
Okay. And what were you doing in Paris, France?
Grabbing meetings, doing business deals, trying to invest in this new tech startup.
Okay. So you're there for work?
Yes.
You don't live there?
No.
Okay. You live where?
New Jersey.
When did you get here in Los Angeles, sir?
Last night late.
Okay. And why did you come here?
To really clear my name, tell the truth. Again, I just hated seeing my name tied to lies and untruthful words.
And did it concern you as far as your professional reputation that this guy was accusing you of doctoring and making up recordings?
Yes.
Would you ever do that?
No, never. I'm not there with yet with like the technology, I would say. So yeah.
But even if you were there, would you
Yeah,
do that?
no, I would never. It's not honest, right? Yeah.
Did you make recordings of conversations with Rutherford?
Yes.
How many recordings did you make?
Two. About in 2022, I believe the dates were, I forget the April date, but mid-April and then August 15th-ish. Yeah.
Now you said that's based on your recollection, right? I think
Yeah.
the metadata may actually say May, but around April, May
Yeah,
2022?
Yep.
Okay. And then August of 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And those are the two conversations you recorded?
Yes.
Okay. Did you give those recordings to Rocky?
Yes.
Okay. And first of all, why did you give them to Rocky?
I think it was just conversations he needed to hear.
And why do you think he needed to hear them?
Because they're about him, and a lot of it seemed just suspicious, talking about monetary things.
And when did you send them to Rocky?
As soon as I finished the conversation.
Now, when you sent those recordings, did one of the two recordings, did you have to split one of them into two files because of the size?
Yeah, you can't really send certain data, or if the file size is too big, you gotta cut it down to send it. So
So how did you get here today?
I took a plane, commercial plane.
Last night
Yes,
from Paris?
yes,
And are you going back later today?
yeah, a few hours.
Okay. So that's a one-day turnaround
Yeah, after,
just to be here?
yeah.
Okay. Who paid for the cost of your ticket?
Damien Branderson,
Amy Branson, that's Rocky's entertainment
entertainment
attorney.
lawyer, yeah.
And that means Rocky probably paid for the cost of your ticket, correct?
Possibly.
Yeah. And did you meet us, myself, Mr. Siegel, Ms. Kaplan, any of the people in the defense table, Mr. Anzoni, us for the first time ever this morning?
Prior to this, no.
No. When was
This
the
morning,
first time?
yes.
This
This
morning
morning, yes.
was the first time you ever met any of us?
Correct.
Okay. Did we ever speak before this morning?
No.
Okay. This morning, did we play recordings?
Correct. Yes.
And what were those recordings?
There were the recordings that I took.
And by the way, let's step back for a second. You mentioned Damien Branson, Rocky's entertainment attorney. When was the first time you ever heard from him?
Just recently while I was watching the tapes.
Was it when this individual really was testifying about you doctoring tapes?
Correct. He wasn't the only one contacting me about just a lot of
Right, but
but yeah.
non-responsive.
Sustained.
Sustained.
Okay. Was when he called you from George?
You want some water? Oh, you have one?
Sorry.
Do you have enough in there?
I have one.
You're okay? Sure?
I think there's something but it's covered with allergies.
Yep.
Air vents.
The air vents, I think, is wrong with the allergies. Let's want to give her a second.
Yeah.
I do the pat that.
You want to, you okay? Do you want to go in the back and
Is it okay?
get rid of the cough?
No, we got
Oh, we have cough drops too. We have to give cough.
Would you like a cough drop from both the prosecution and the defense?
Ours are better.
I have a cough drop. Thank you so much. Appreciate that water as well. I took a lot of medication as well.
No, you have nothing to be sorry about.
I'd like to step off for a second, please.
What's that?
Could I step off for a second?
Of course.
That way you can step.
Oh, you want to step out?
Yes, please.
Alex? Oh, Alex, okay. Go to the door there, Alex. You'll be out. Go ahead and cut the camera while we're
It's on.
waiting.
It's off.
I have my water off. Okay, sure.
I wasn't
concerned. I know. Mrs. Sajemi, so you said, Mr. Grant's Damien, said the payment order for the first time on Thursday,
Correct.
after what you saw on TV occurred in this case, right?
The past few days,
You
yeah.
were accused of making a false statement.
Correct.
Before that, have you heard of anyone from Rocky's defense team?
No.
Okay. And no one ever told you he intended on calling you, correct?
No.
But then you saw on television, you were accused of doctoring up tapes, correct?
Correct. I didn't want to come here.
And I don't object on any leading question, but I'll just ask if it could not be.
Yeah, that's right, it's leading, same.
A little less, I'll try not to do that, but an effort would be appreciated.
So, the recordings, I think I asked you this, I'm not sure, before we broke. Did we play for you the recordings this morning?
Correct.
Yes, okay. And what were those two recordings?
Conversations with Relly and I.
Okay. The May 2022 and
Yes,
August
and
2022? And by the way, where were you when you made those recordings?
In New Jersey, my apartment.
Okay, and did Relly say where he was?
In New York.
And I'm going to show you the three recordings, to show you the screen of three. By the way, when I said I'm going to show you the three recordings, did you videotape the recordings?
Yes.
Okay. So you audio recorded the recordings, but you videotaped.
Yeah, I believe video is just better to capitalize on, or just to capture everything. Okay. Get video with audio. It's hard to falsify, I guess.
Okay. So we'll show you. Yeah, you show.
Just the next exhibit.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cues and pointing. Is there a transcript?
Three recordings, but you only need two incidents, but you mentioned three, but one of them is a combination,
It's a split.
a split. I just want to make sure it's clear. We're only talking about two
Two recordings,
recordings.
May and August.
Yes.
2022.
Is there a transcript of the first?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just identifying them first. I'm not playing them. I just want to make sure we identify them. Okay. So take a look at that one. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that to be?
It's my recording of my conversation with Relly and I.
The first one from May of 2022?
Correct.
Okay. That is, we have it marked as exhibit
Cue.
Q. All right. I'm going to show you another one, another video screenshot.
Yes, same exact thing. Conversation with him and I.
And that is that the one from August?
Correct.
And by the way, what makes you know that that's the one that you had with Relly from looking at it?
How I save people's numbers, I usually put your entire government name and your nickname as well, so I can remember.
And that's what you have on that screen there?
Correct.
Okay. That would be, what is that? R. Okay. That's defense R. Your Honor.
All right, if you're marking that now, are you going to play cue?
Three snippets of it. Yes.
All right. The part that you're going to play of cue, the transcript of that should be R.
Okay.
The August call
Yes.
should be S and Sam.
Okay. The first August call, because Your Honor, again, there's one August call, but it was sent to Rocky in two files. So first one will be S and Sam, the one he just identified. And the transcript portion of that would be,
T is in Tom.
okay. And then the third one, which is again the same call from August of 2022, is that the screenshot of that, sir?
Yes.
And again, same thing?
Correct. Same thing. I videoed it between Relly and I.
And whose name is on the screenshot?
It's Rob.
And that's the same call as the call before. It's part of the August 2022 call, but that's a second
Correct.
file.
Yeah.
The
Same
same
file.
So that would be
That's you.
you, Your Honor. And and the transcript
All
for
right, that's the August 22nd call?
second portion.
Second half. That's U as in union? The transcript, V as in Victor. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you recognize the record was on the screen. I'm going to play snippet. Before I play the snippet for the jury room, I want him, Mr. Savini, to identify the voices. Okay?
Sure.
That's the right way to do it. So listen to the recordings of voices and tell us if you recognize the voices. First, second, and third.
Yes, myself and brother.
That's the first one. This is the second one. Go ahead.
Yes, that's the second one. Same thing. Yes, same thing. Identifying myself and throughout all the conversation.
Okay. You played all three? So you've identified all three of those tapes that we've identified as
It is the tapes Q, S, and U.
offense Q, S, and U. You've identified all three as recorded conversations that you made from May of 2022 and August of 2022 of you and for us.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you watched this proceeding. Are those the ones you said were fake?
Yes.
Were they fake?
No, they're real.
You can't prove them in any way?
No.
Are those recordings a true and accurate recording of your conversation with Brother those 2 days?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone ask you to make these recordings, by the way?
No, I did it myself.
Why did you do it?
I believe to protect myself and just document our conversations because he kept calling me numerous times, so I kind of felt unsafe or I just wanted to protect myself.
And when he kept calling you numerous times, why did you feel the need to record these conversations? Was he giving you an impression?
Well, it was just weird, to be honest. I just felt uncomfortable.
But you were not involved in this incident, correct?
No, I was just, I was not involved at all. I just wanted to really just mediate the situation, honestly.
Because you were friends with both of them.
Correct.
And you didn't take a side, did you?
No.
It is leading, it is sustained.
Okay. Were you friends with both of them?
Yes.
Did you take a side?
No.
All right, now I'm going to play you a few snippets here from the recordings. And again, these are questions that were asked.
Which, are you going to play Q, S, or U first?
Yes. I'm going to play Q, S, or U first. I'm going to play a snippet of S first, Your Honor. And again, these are short snippets. They're directly related to the question I asked Mr. Efron.
All right, let's, Alex, can you distribute the transcript, which is T as in Tom?
Yes, sir. You have two, Your Honor, by chance, so the same?
I have a, yeah, I think I have. You have an extra for, this is Jim? Sure, yeah.
Yes, okay. So we're gonna play a snippet from that defense exhibit
This is S.
S. And again, by the way, before we play that, who called whom in these two calls?
He called me,
And,
and then I would call him back.
and when you recorded these calls, were you calling him back?
Correct.
Go ahead.
This is a later call, correct?
Yo, what's good, nigga? What's going on? Shit, man, where you at? Crib. What you want? Shit, man. I just hopped on the computer and shit. I was gonna submit them links and shit. You know which links you want to do, or you want me to just pick them shits? Yeah, it's shit ton. Just probably the one from Rolling Stone, all those other publications. Just pick the top ones, probably, right? Like TMZ, Rolling Stone shit. Mm-hmm. And then when I get it, I'm gonna throw you sign. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna just try to get that shit through, you feel me? Cause you got.
Okay. That was yourself and Mr. Efron?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the one that was saying Rolling Stone? And that?
Terrell was.
And you respond saying, just pick the top one, something to that effect?
Yes.
And then, after asking you to promote these articles on social media regarding this case, did he say he was going to throw you something?
Yes.
What did he say?
When I get it, I'm going to throw you something.
When I get it, I'm going to throw you something?
Yes.
Where did you take that from me?
I'm not sure. Maybe whenever he gets some type of money.
I'm going to call for
Sustain.
speculation. Motion striking.
Speculation, sustain.
Okay. I guess we're going to move on now to the second bit. From which recording is this?
It's from S also. Yes.
Exhibit S also.
This one you just related to.
You're on the same exhibit, same transcript. Is there a page we should direct it on?
It's that.
Page 10? Page 10. You could flip to page 10.
Does the jury have this?
Yes, you're on page 10, page 10. All right. Listen to this, please, and go ahead.
Like, who gets cool after somebody firing on you 5 times, bro?
Okay. That Mr. Efron saying, who gets school if someone firing on you 5 times?
Yes.
I think in this case, it's who gives school, not who gets school.
Okay. Who gives school? Gives school?
That's what the transcript
Whatever it says. The part I was really focused on was the someone firing on you 5 times. That he said that?
Yeah.
You? Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is a different exhibit.
Exhibit Q.
Different exhibit.
It's transcript R.
And this is still August 27th.
No, this is, I think, May 27th.
You just played August, that was August.
Right.
Right.
So now we're going to May.
Now we're on to this one.
Just want to be passed out, is that correct?
Please.
So what was already played was August 22nd. This is
Right.
now May 22nd.
Right.
And by meaning August 2022 rather than 22nd.
Yeah, August 2020.
2022. On May 2022.
All right.
Everybody
Okay.
everybody have one? Transcript?
Good.
Can I have one?
Do we have one from Mrs. Sujit?
What page? Page 16, please, on the transcripts. Okay, go ahead, please, play that.
But background, a lawyer first court extortion. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You ask for background, a lawyer first court extortion. You feel me? You're gonna do everything accordingly. Everything accordingly, or it's gonna catch up with you.
Whose voice was that, sir?
Terrell Brown.
Did you make up those words?
No.
Did you spoof his voice and how many
No.
those words? The next one is from the same recording,
Same recording, same transcript, page 13.
same recording, same transcript, page 13.
Just to be clear, this would be before, so you're going backwards in the conversation, is that correct?
No, it's the same one we just heard. This is the May 2022.
My question is, in terms of timing, is what you just played before or after?
In terms of timing. It's earlier in the
It's
conversation.
really, I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure that we're making clear when these are being played.
I'm suing this shit out of here. That was my game. And regardless, don't give a fuck about no police, nigga.
Whose voice was that saying, suing the shit out of him? That was my game regardless. I don't give a heck about the police.
Terrell Brown.
You didn't make up that voice. Did you?
No. No.
Your computer generate that voice.
No.
Okay, next is from the August 2022 recording, which is exhibit again.
So exhibit U, it's the second portion of that recording with the transcript page.
We just asked, when you're playing that chronologically, is this occurring after the time originally when you played?
Right, the last was May, this is August, so we'll be after.
No, but you played part of the August call. I'm just trying to understand, is this, you played the August call before, is this part after, before?
It's after.
After the part you already played?
Let's check with this.
Let's get the,
Yes.
you got the transcripts out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. V is the transcript is V as in Victor. The recording is U as in U as in
Okay, is there a page direct?
Page 5.
Page 5. Go ahead.
I already know. I'm in 30 M's.
Okay. What's that say? I already know I'm getting 30 M's.
Terrell Brown.
And what do you understand 30 M's to mean?
$30 million.
And you alter that voice?
No.
Just a couple more. This is Jeremy, we're done.
Same recording, same transcript, page 5, continues to page 6.
Same recording, same transcript, page 5, continue on to page 6.
He's gonna have to deal with that and his political ties and everything else. Because once I walk away, when I get my cash, the case is way weaker. It's just like a domestic violence case. If you was to hit your bitch and your bitch was to keep on going through with the situation, you go down. But if you're not there, then you're going against the state and it's way weaker.
Okay. Whose voice was that, sir? And what did you understand what he was saying to you there?
Jackson's going to call for speculation. It's also irrelevant what he understood. His thought is not relevant.
Sustained.
Okay. That's fine. There's one last one. I'm going to ask you about what's the question they asked Mr. Efron now last week. So, same
Same recording, same transcript.
recording, same transcript,
Page 6, continuing to page 7.
page 6, continuing to page 7. Let's play.
If I'm not there, if he pays me out via my lawsuit, I'll walk away. Basically, it's gonna be for being me because I'll be on another island, just relaxing. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna be scrambling to find me because now they have to go against Rocky, the state, and they have evidence and this, that, and third, but it's not gonna be the same when you present it to a jury and you don't have a complaining witness.
Mr. Stephen, whose voice was it on that recording that said it's going to be hard for the VA to find me because I'll be going to another island just relaxing?
Really.
And whose voice was it to say they have evidence, this, that, and the third, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to the jury and you don't have a complaining witness?
Really.
Did you alter that recording?
No.
Did you superimpose the voice into there?
No.
Did you hear him say that that was fake?
Yes.
Was that fake?
No.
Okay, I have no further questions for the witness. Thank you.
Rocky, you want a break? You okay? Anybody want a break? Everything's good? All right. Mr. Rule?
Mr. Jimmy, would you agree that you are much closer to the defendant than you are to Relevant, correct?
Fair to say.
And you do business with the defendant, right?
Sometimes.
How much money has the defendant paid you for your work in the past 3 years?
3 years? I don't recall.
Let's give an estimate.
I would say maybe 20,000 per year, so say 60,000.
And I would assume, is he one of the bigger names that you work with?
No.
He's not?
I work with a lot of people, a lot of brands, a lot of celebrities and names. Yeah.
What was your income last year?
I have to look at it or ask my accountants, but income last year, let's say
Objection to his income.
around 85,000 possibly.
So if your income was 85,000, then even by your own estimate, he would have, his business would be about 25% of your income, correct?
No, like I said, we get paid by a lot of different people.
So that's what I'm telling you. You said you're estimating your income at 20 grand a year. I'm sorry, your income at 85,000 a year. You're saying he's giving you about 20 grand a year over the past 3 years. 20 grand is a little less than 25%.
Well, you asked me for my personal income, right? I didn't tell you what the business made,
Well,
right?
I asked you what, well, wait a minute, you said it's your business, correct?
Correct.
So would you agree that the defendant represents, he's a substantial bit of income for you?
For me personally or my business?
For you personally?
No.
Well, if your personal income is $85,000 and he's giving you $20,000, you just don't consider $20,000 to be significant. Is that
He's
correct?
not paying me personally. He's paying my business.
So in the end, if he's paying, who owns your business?
I do.
So in the end, does the money go back to you?
Not all of it. I have employees.
So you say that he is a friend of yours, correct?
Correct.
How close of a friend?
Speak time to time, not often. Sometimes I don't hear from him.
How often do you talk to him?
Once every other month, possibly.
Once or so you're aware. I just want to back up. Fair to say that the defendant is a pretty big person within the rap world entertainment industry.
You can say that.
Well, I'm not asking if I'd say it. Would you agree to it?
Sure.
And would you agree that his girlfriend, significant other, she's even bigger than he is, right?
Sure.
For someone like you, would you agree that being in a good relationship with people like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, that is a positive for your career? Is that right?
Well, I only do business with him. I don't do business with his significant
That
other.
wasn't my question. Those were striking answers.
Sustained.
Listen to my question.
Sure.
My question is, would you agree that people like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, given the business you're in, that getting in good with them is positive for your future business?
Sure.
And in fact, that's why as soon as, according to your testimony, as soon as you finished that call with A$AP Rocky, you called the defendant, right?
Correct.
And in fact, it's fair to say, you did this call because you wanted to set up Relly to see what you could figure out, what might end up helping A$AP Rocky with this case, correct?
No.
So when you set this up, you said you wanted to video, you wanted to audio record. That sounds like you had some planning involved, correct?
I didn't set anything up. I was there to mediate the situation.
So you just decided that you were going to call him up, chat him up, and then immediately after that call, even though you only talked to him like every other month, you're like, hey, I think I'll call A$AP Rocky up.
Well, he was calling me numerous times first.
Who was calling you, A$AP Rocky?
Really?
That's not what I asked you. Motion to strike. Yeah, you know what? I'll
Oh,
wait
just a minute. He misunderstood.
All right. Listen to my question.
Ask the question again.
What I'm asking you is, you're telling me you rarely talk to A$AP Rocky. You talk to him maybe every other month, right?
Correct.
But as soon as you spoke to Relly, the first thing you do is call him up and let him know, hey, here's what I got, right?
Correct. It's a situation between them two.
And you were looking to parlay your calling Relly to see if you can help A$AP Rocky and ingratiate yourself with him, correct?
No.
Well, let me ask you something. As you sit here today, would you agree that if A$AP Rocky is convicted, that very likely that's probably not going to be a positive for you and your income with respect to him?
No, I'll be fine.
That's not what I asked you. Listen to my question. If A$AP Rocky is convicted, you would agree that you might not be getting that 20 grand a year that you estimate you're making from him going forward, correct?
Hold.
Objecting.
Grounds?
Thank you, sir. The first question was, it wouldn't be positive for you. He answered that.
That's not a legal objection.
Just state the legal question.
It's a different question. The first question was a different question.
It's not a legal objection.
Just hold on.
Courtroom. It's a courtroom.
Read the last question.
Your Honor, we don't have a still objection.
Did you withdraw it?
No, I didn't lose the regard. It's misleading the witness. The first question that he answered was a different question.
That's not an objection, Your Honor. It's not a
I
legal
just did.
objection.
Objection misleading. There you go.
That's not a legal
Both
California
of you
objection.
stop. Both of you be quiet. Wait the question. And the answer.
Question, let me ask you something. As you sit here today, would you agree that if A$AP Rocky is convicted, that very likely that's probably not going to be a positive for you and your income with respect to him? Answer, no, I'll be fine. Question, that's not what I asked. Listen to my question. If A$AP Rocky is convicted, you would agree that you might not be getting the 20 grand a year that you estimate you're making from him going forward. That's when there was an objection.
It's a fair question.
You understand the question?
Objection's overruled.
Can you ask it again?
Sure. You testified that you're making approximately 20 grand a year. You said your income's $85,000 a year. I'm just asking, you would agree that if he gets convicted, you would agree that probably does not portend well for you with respect to continuing to get 20 grand a year from him, correct?
Sure.
Sure, is that a yes?
Yes. Technically, yes. Yes.
You would agree that no matter what actually happened in this incident, your motivation, your goal as you sit here is you don't want your friend to get convicted, correct?
No, my goal is to tell the truth.
That's not what I asked you. Do you agree that as you sit here right now, that whether or not the defendant committed this crime or not, you don't want him to be convicted?
Technically, no, I don't want anyone to go to jail, so no.
So what you're saying is that even if it is proven that the defendant assaulted the victim in this case with a firearm, you agree that you do not want him to be convicted, correct?
The objection.
Grounds.
It's a fair question.
He doesn't just says objection and then he gives no grounds.
All right, well,
Judge,
in
when you ask me
any
something-
grounds, it's overruled. So,
Okay.
So the question can be asked.
Ask again?
Please read the question back.
Question, so what you're saying is that even if it is proven that the defendant assaulted the victim in this case with a firearm, you agree that you do not want him to be convicted, correct?
No.
So a moment ago you just said you don't want anybody to get convicted and go to jail. Now I've just asked you whether you want the defendant to be convicted, even if he committed the crime, and you said, no, I don't agree that I don't want him convicted. Which is it?
If he committed a crime, sure. Justice, right, needs to be served.
So as you sit here today, your position is you're just an unbiased person coming in here to do your civic duty.
Correct. I was friends with both of them, so.
Well, you weren't really good friends with Relly, correct? You're much closer to the defendant.
I was friends with him.
Well, you were much closer to the defendant, correct?
Correct.
You said you flew out here, is that right?
Correct.
I assume was that first class or business?
Business?
Nice lie flat seats, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there. So does sure mean that's what happened? What does sure mean?
Sure means yes.
Okay, if you can answer yes or no, but just make it easier with my question.
No problem.
Okay. So you flew out yesterday on a lie flat seat at the expense of the defendant and his lawyer, is that correct?
Correct.
And you came here not because you have any financial motivation, but because you simply want the truth to come out. Is that right?
Correct. Because someone said the audio recordings weren't real.
So let me ask you something. What you just heard, those were snippets of approximately 30 minutes of conversation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And during those 30 minutes of conversation, at any point in time, did Relly ever tell you that the shooting did not happen?
No.
Did he ever tell you at any point in time, you know what? Yeah, I'm trying to get his money, but I made the whole thing up.
No.
In fact, isn't it true that what he was telling you was that that man shot at him and really wanted to make sure that he got his for what happened? Is that correct?
That's what Relly said.
And you weren't there, is that correct?
No.
Correct?
Hold
Yeah.
on.
That was a double negative. You weren't there, were you?
No, I was not.
And you don't have any idea whether or not this incident happened or didn't happen.
No.
So here's my, did you ever ask Relly? Hey, I'm sorry, did you ever ask the defendant, hey, listen, this guy's saying you shot at him. You ever ask him what happened?
Objection relevance.
You ever ask him what happened?
I don't recall.
So you are having conversations with Relly, which you're taping, and then immediately calling the defendant to report what happened. And you're telling me you've never asked the man, hey, Did you cap 2 rounds at him?
I said I don't recall.
Well, is that something you think you remember?
3 years ago, I don't recall.
So you're telling, I just want to make sure I understand this. Your testimony is, yeah, I'm recording him and I'm well aware of this situation that happened. And I've talked to the defendant about it. I talk to him every couple of months. But I've never asked him, hey, Relly's accusing you of shooting him. Did you do it? You never asked him that.
I don't recall, no.
Well, isn't it true? You didn't ask him that because you don't want to know the answer.
Objection, Your Honor. The state's testimony, it doesn't recall.
It's cross-examination.
Yeah, it's a fair question on cross-examination.
Isn't it true that you didn't ask him that question because you don't want to know the answer?
Like I said, I don't recall, but I might have asked him.
So now you're saying you might have asked him if he shot Relly, but you don't remember the answer?
I said I don't recall me asking him that question, right?
So let me be clear. I want to know, has the defendant ever discussed with you anything about the shooting?
No.
So then your answer would be, if you ever asked him about it, would be a definite no, correct?
Sure, correct, son.
Then why is it a moment ago you just said, I don't know, I don't remember?
Because I don't recall.
So, do you understand the difference between no and I don't recall?
Yes.
So, no, would you agree, would mean he absolutely never mentioned anything, and I don't recall would be, I'm not sure. Would you agree with those definitions?
We can agree to that.
And my question is, don't you think that as you're taping Relly for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, getting information about this incident and about what he intends to do, and then calling the defendant back immediately to report what happened, that you might have had a conversation with him about, hey, dude, what actually happened? Did you shoot the guy? You're saying that didn't happen, you never asked?
I never asked.
Are you curious?
No.
So you don't have any interest at all as to whether or not the defendant actually shot at Relly.
Doesn't make an irrelevancy objection again.
Sergeant Manager, please. And go on to another subject.
So, would you agree, your position is that you are talking to Relly and he is telling you about what he intends to do in terms of getting money from the defendant? Would you agree?
Yes.
Did you ever say to Relly during any of these calls that you recorded, hey Relly, how come you're getting money from him if the shooting never happened?
I never asked that.
Don't you think that would be a legitimate question to ask him?
No, I was just hearing his side of the story.
Well, and in fact, you would agree that there is nothing that Terrell has ever said to you, nothing, that in any way indicates that the shooting did not happen. You agree?
I agree.
Would you also agree that whatever efforts Relly makes after the shooting, however much money he asks for, whatever calls he makes, does that change what happened during the incident?
Objection. Improper question.
What's that?
Sergeant Manager.
Well, let me ask you something. I'm asking you. You're taping him and you're reporting that conversation to the defendant. I'm asking you, is there anything about Relly's statements about suing the defendant, trying to get $30 million, is there anything about those statements that you are aware of that changes what actually happened the night of the incident?
No, I think I answered that.
So would you agree that whether or not Relly sues for $1, 20 million, 100 million, 20 gajillion dollars, that in the end, either the shooting happened or it didn't? Would you agree?
Yes.
And it's your further testimony that despite all that, you've never had one conversation or asked him one question, the defendant, about what actually transpired.
Objection asked.
Thank you. Is there-
How many calls in total did you record?
2.
2 calls? Now, you said that you were upset because the idea that Relly was coming into court, you said you were offended by his line. Is that correct?
Yes.
When you were taping his calls, did he know you were taping?
No.
Do you think that friends tape other friends' phone calls?
Sometimes they can.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking you physically. I assume, sir, that if somebody wants to record a call, I didn't ask whether it's technically possible. I'm asking you, do you think that a friend records their friend's phone calls when that person doesn't know it?
Objection, he gave an answer.
That's not a legal objection. It's not
Yes,
located.
It's an
Yes,
objectionable
yes.
question. It's speculation, and what friends do is irrelevant. Ask another question.
You called Terrell a friend of yours, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that it was being a friend of his to tape his phone calls without his knowledge?
Yes.
How was that being a friend to Terrell?
Sometimes friends do things like that.
You mean sometimes friends betray friends by taping their calls and then calling other people to report what they found? Is that what you mean?
That's what we call betrayal.
Argumentative.
So, when is the last time that you had spoken to the defendant prior to immediately calling him after the May 2022 phone call?
I didn't talk to him.
What's that?
I said I didn't talk to him prior to really calling me.
No, so, well, you talked to him before, so I'm asking the last time. When did the last time been?
I'm not sure.
When is the first time? So, when did you first find out about the whole incident, the shooting? When did you find out?
From
about it?
Relly in 2022.
No, I'm not asking when you found out from Relly. When did you first hear about the shooting?
When Relly told me.
So you're saying you had never heard about this shooting that happened to your friend, ASAP Rocky, until May of 2022?
Correct.
So you're saying you speak to him every other month. You're aware that that shooting, that incident happened in November 2021, right?
Yes.
And you were saying that even though your friend was involved in a shooting, lead shooting, ASAP Rocky, you didn't hear about it for 5 months?
I heard about it from Relly first.
And you said the first time you heard about it from Relly was in May of 2022. That's what you just testified to, correct?
Yes.
So, when's the first time you talked to Relly after November of 2021?
I'm not sure.
Well, give me an estimate of when the last time you spoke to him was.
I said I'm not sure.
Well, here's my question. You would agree that the shooting involving ASAP Rocky, that was a big media event. Would you agree?
Yes.
Didn't you say, wait, what do you do for a living? Well, let me just get this right. You basically work on people's boosting their media profile, correct?
It's not what I do for a living.
What do you do for a living?
I'm not sure if you heard, but I run a technology agency and we build websites, software for brands, creatives, artists, musicians.
Right, and you testified, quote,
And part of that, if you want me to get into it, sometimes people offer things like Relly did to help with their social media.
you are very involved in the rap and entertainment world, correct?
No, I'm not. I'm not a rapper. I don't make music. I don't produce beats.
That's not what I asked you.
You asked if I'm involved in the rap.
Are you involved in working with individuals in the music, rap, and entertainment world?
No. Might be 10%, 20% of my client list.
So it's 10% or 20% of your client list but ASAP Rocky is approximately 20 to 25% of your income. I just want to clarify, is that correct?
You said, is my client as rappers or in the music industry? Repeat the question.
So here's what I'm asking you. You're telling me you've never heard of this incident until May of 2022.
Until Relly told me.
You're telling me that Relly is contacting you saying he wants you to boost his media profile and he's naming outlets like Rolling Stone magazine, correct?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be your job to be monitoring what's going on in the media with individuals that you're talking to?
No, it's not my job.
So let me ask you something. Your sworn testimony is, Relly told me about it for the first time in May 2022. That's the first I heard of this shooting, correct?
Yes.
Let me ask you, given what you do for a living, does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes.
So let me ask you something all with the sidebar. This doesn't need on the record. Concerns of schedule. Come on up, please. Mr. Sajemi has a flight out tonight. Can we go well past 4:30? Is there anybody who could not go till 5:30 tonight? And it's merely to accommodate his flight. We want to try to get finished with him today. Is that okay with everybody? Anybody? Is that okay with everybody? Kathy's willing, everybody's willing to stay, but I don't want to, if one of you has a commitment, I don't want to interfere with your lives. If Mr. Sajimi wasn't flying, you're going back to Paris?
Yeah.
And when'd you fly?
6:30.
6:30
Yes.
tonight? 6:30 p.m.?
I
think there's one that we had on hold for, I think, 8-9ish.
That might be a lot better. All right. Again, I apologize to you all, but I want to get finished. We all want, yes, June 39?
Can I make a quick phone call for my right?
I can't hear you.
Can I just make a quick
Of
phone
course.
call?
Why don't we take a break now? Kathy, if you all can stretch your legs, if you want to make a phone call, make a phone call. Let's resume at 10 minutes to 4.
Your Honor, anyway, could the JA inquire just privately? I'm guessing it might be difficult for the jurors to. I'm just hoping that we inquire in a more private setting so they're able to.
If you can't do it, can you please let me know? It's okay. I know this is a big ask. Don't be shy. I'm seeing no hands. I'm going to assume that everybody is on board. All right. 10 to 4, folks. You let everybody know. That's it. All right.